When it comes to finding the best data removal services, Incogni and DeleteMe both claim to be the most effective tool, but looking closer, the fine print of one of these actually says otherwise. So in today's Incogni versus DeleteMe review, I'm going to compare both these data removal services to see which one genuinely lives up to its promises. All right, the first question we need to address: what exactly do these data removal services actually do? They exist to tackle the barely regulated and borderline shady business of data brokers who collect, combine, trade, and sell the personal data of anyone that they can get their hands on. Data like your full name, home address, phone number, email, and much more. Unsurprisingly, this data about you is often distributed behind your back and without your consent. While technically you could fill out complicated opt-out forms yourself, realistically, you'd have to repeat the procedure for hundreds upon hundreds of different data brokers. You'd then have to keep track of each individual request and whether it was taken seriously or simply ignored. When it comes to our Incogni and DeleteMe review, each provider offers to automate this entire process. This includes sending a removal request to a data broker on your behalf and repeatedly contacting them if the initial request is ignored. What's more, these services also continue to monitor if your data is acquired in the future. If it is, the removal process is automatically repeated, which is why they process on a subscription basis. If you want to try a service like this for yourself, I've left discount links for both providers in the description. Now, since these providers aim to wipe your digital footprint clean, the next question is, how many data brokers do they cover? DeleteMe seemingly takes the lead in this regard, or it might be tempting to think so. On their site, they claim to cover more than 900 brokers, but once you start digging deeper, terms and conditions do apply. Now, once we strip away the high-tiered plans, we're left with coverage of a grand total of 85 data brokers, which is below 10% of the total amount that they cover, and just around 20% of the 420 plus that Incogni covers. And unlike DeleteMe, Incogni doesn't have any fine print conditions or gatekeeping to worry about. Even their standard plan gives you access to the full Incogni data broker coverage. So if you dig even deeper at DeleteMe, more than half of the total brokers this provider covers are categorized as custom requests, meaning you'll have to manually request your data removal from each of these individual sites. If, however, there is a specific situation in which you'd prefer manual removal, then Incogni's unlimited plan actually supports more than 3,000 additional sites that you can request the removal of your personal data from. Thus, with Incogni, the coverage is way more complete and thorough, and I consider it to be one of the best data removal service providers on the market. On the other hand, though DeleteMe's entry-level tier is less strong when it comes to data broker coverage, the service does include some unique features that Incogni does not. For example, there's email masking to shield your online credentials when signing up for new accounts. This is a great way to keep your real inbox private, reduce your spam, and make your online activity harder to link back to you. And if you're looking for a way to also reduce unwanted calls and texts, as well as keeping your real number away from sites or services that you don't trust, then you can get their phone masking feature for an additional fee. Usability-wise, the Incogni versus DeleteMe battle is relatively close. Both services offer simple and intuitive dashboards that are easy to figure out. However, there are a few things that particularly stand out in our Incogni review. For example, it color codes the data brokers it monitors according to the severity of their risk and the level of risk it puts your info at. Meanwhile, DeleteMe offers a built-in Google search engine that allows you to look yourself up on public sites. You can then contact DeleteMe about which data you would like removed. Additionally, both these services provide regular data reports. DeleteMe updates it quarterly, while Incogni upgrades theirs monthly. So if this is helping you decide which data removal service would be the best fit for you, check out my links in the description to get it with a discount. All right, all in all, once you strip down the fancy marketing language, Incogni seems to win across most categories, especially ones that are key to qualifying it as the best data broker removal service, meaning automatic data removal and extensive data broker coverage. All right, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.